So you have men, you have women, then you have transgender men and transgender women. And so, I mean,
All right, we're here.
Create their own unique category.
Yep.
Apples to apples. And coconuts to coconuts.
Because their whole entire shtick for the
Let's see.
community is
I don't know why we decided to wear the same shirt tonight.
despite the fact that they have XY chromosomes
We look good, bro.
swinging between their legs, they are
Yeah, I can't do that. Hey, woo, woo.
It actually hurt doing that. Can't do it like I used to do a Phillips.
Pulled a muscle.
Oh, you can't see it because of the black shirt. Flexing my boots.
Oh, nice.
You're welcome. Okay. Oh. The FBI has declassified a report confirming the existence of giant aliens.
There you go. Ooh, man,
Giants.
long day. Rocky was busy today. Weren't you? 1 minute.
Yeah, I let my car get a little dirty. I thought it was going to be like a 15-minute thing. Go out, pull garbage out, just kind of wipe it down a little bit. No.
Hell no.
Hell.
Did you like detail the inside?
Well, it became that. You know, I mean, because once you start wiping down, well,
Yeah.
then you do the cleaner. Well, like, well, now it has to be shined.
Yeah.
So then you start go shining every freaking thing, and then all of a sudden you don't like, you know, because all the interior stuff looks good. Then you didn't vacuum good enough. So then you got to go back and kind of pick up some of the little things you missed before.
I know how it goes.
And then I'm like, I got to go to the car wash, but the car wash wasn't good enough, right?
All right,
So
here
I
we
had to
go.
come home.
Stop, dude.
But I promise you, you will see that the world is inherently good. And don't ever let the world get you down. You just say, damn it, and move on. That's Damn It with Beaver, Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Mojo 50 Radio.
Journey into the matrix of the mind. Stretch your imagination and challenge reality. Abnormal realities are beacons for the imagination. What society deems abnormal may be more real than we think. This is Abnormal Realities with your hosts, Ron Phillips and Rocky Stucci.
That society deems abnormal. That is us. Ron Phillips, Rocky Stucci, Odyssey Radio, Abnormal Reality is.
Abnormal
With an S.
reality eats.
Yep. Welcome, folks. It is hump day, bitches. Come on, let's hump.
Get off of me, dude. Don't.
I'm wearing shorts.
No.
So today, I couldn't wait to tell you this. I didn't tell you this when I've been sitting here in the studio because I wanted to wait for the show, but I wanted to tell you something else I did today when we were telling everybody how busy I was.
Okay, hit me.
So I'm commando today. I'm just wearing those workout shorts and I'm commando.
I don't want to know.
And I was in the backyard.
Oh my God. Nobody cares, dude.
No.
That you're swinging free.
So I started doing the hula hoop in the backyard, and the AC/DC song Thunderstruck started playing. It's like it was all part of the design, like it was meant to be. And I feel really good about it. Thank you, Texas.
You know it's going to be a good show, and that we probably didn't have any show prep when Rocky starts off talking about the hula hooping.
No, I told Lisa when I was pulling out today, I said, hey, baby,
I'm sorry, what?
I said,
when you were what?
When I was pulling out.
I just asked why.
Thank you, Texas.
Okay. All right. When you were leaving to come over here. Gotcha.
Oh, that part. Okay. I'm red. I says, hey, baby, I'm going to tell frickin' Phillips. I say, I'm going to tell him that I was hula hooping in the backyard with no underwear on to Thunderstruck.
Isn't that called helicopter?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't Thunderstruck. It was Hell's Bells.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
How you doing? That's right. But it's not as good now when you had to come back 5 minutes after you started the story and had to correct yourself in the story. Kind of ruins the story, but Thunderstruck was fitting at the same time. But hey, folks, welcome. Wednesday night. To Audrey, it would be Taco Wednesday.
Because every day is taco day for Audrey.
Is Audrey in the chat room tonight?
No, she said she was going to be late.
Yeah, she's always late.
She got called into work.
Hey, folks, before we continue, give me those things right there.
Oh,
that's
man.
right. So, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that really have nothing to do with this radio show that Ron and I are super busy on. But Ron, because we brought up, I think it was yesterday, Ron, we brought up about the celebrity softball game coming up on June 11th. Go to celebritysoftballclassic.org. I think the tickets go on sale the 15th of next month. We'll let you guys know. We'll let you know. And so I know you can't see it. I know you can't. And the closer I get, the more blurry it'll get. But everybody knows about Insane Custom Laser, Romika Designs. When we say custom things, man, it's custom things. And it is just about any damn thing that you need. And if we don't have the equipment to do it, we will probably go to a trade show and take a $3 million loan out to buy it for that $12 item. Because we got goals and plans. But Ron was putting together a couple samples for Brother TK today for the celebrity game. And I'm super sorry that you guys can't see it. And I don't think it's really public information yet, so I don't want to post it online. But damn it, man, these are badass. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I says, Ron, can you whip one up real quick? I came over, he did 4 different ones.
Well, what you did was when I sent you the pictures, you're like, is that real or did you mock it up? And I said, no, dude, I cut those.
It was 10 minutes later. I mean, you're on top of it.
I told you it'd be a bit.
Oh, what was it supposed to be? 2 minutes?
I had to work on that logo, but
it's here's what we do though. When you say that he did 4 different ones, so he would do one, he would look at it as a creator, right? We're looking at all the possibilities, and it's really hard to.
Well, and you burn through your material, your stock, when you do that. But we did kind of a
gorgeous, man.
Kind of a darker one on one side. You can't really see it, but then a lighter one on the other. But I burned these coins with my fiber laser. Man, I'm impressed with it.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, if you're a business, if you're a club, like a veterans club, if you're part of a veterans organization, I know they're very big on challenge coins.
Yes.
Not multiple colors. It's black, engraved, or you can do like the exact same color of the coin, but you can't do multiple colors. That's the ones that.
Yeah, those are the enamel ones. But these are like real coins, engraved coins.
So go to romikadesigns.com.
Yeah, the coins aren't up there yet.
No, they don't have to be.
Okay.
Or you can send Ron a private message. I know a lot of you veteran groups out there. We have a lot of veterans that listen to the program. You guys do challenge coins. These big companies, they sell them. I mean, we could make Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine challenge coins and put them on the website, but we'd rather do something like with your local logo with it. And just to kind of help represent your organizations. Or, you know what, if you just want one for yourself, then get a hold of freaking Phillips, man. This dude gets shit done.
Yeah, I just started doing the coins. I love doing those.
I remember when it showed up.
The laser makes them so crisp.
It's crazy that laser
doesn't matter how small the text is, you can read it. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's impressive.
So tonight we're talking about the mythology of the Men in Black. Not the movie, because the movie was a parody. But
so okay, it was a parody. Why do I feel mentally challenged to try to get serious right now?
Okay, well, we don't have to get serious.
No. Okay, so it is a parody. I get it. Do you think there could be, at any given time, past or present or future, the possibility of that happening?
That they're real,
like types of aliens that are, some are like freaking creatures. Remember, I think you brought it up on the show or in discussion, you were talking about the universe around the cat's neck.
Yeah.
That's legit, man. That's, somebody's like, well, what if we're just like a cell in someone's heart?
Look, if the government doesn't have some entity,
yeah,
Men in Black, whatever, that I don't know what they're going to call it. Probably not Men in Black. But if they have some kind of if they don't have some kind of entity that at least researches this kind of stuff, it follows up on it and looks into it, then they're dumb.
I wonder how many people within the UFO field and community are actually like agents that are just kind of looking for more legit or to see how certain
entirely
information.
Possible.
Would they be like a Men in Black?
You could. Well, yeah. I mean,
they got power, dude. They got more power than the president.
Whether they wear black suits. And
I want to be a Man in Black.
Maybe they do. Maybe they drive government vehicles that have
No way.
just, you know,
Nope. They drive Teslas.
of course they do.
We should go to the mall that day. We're going to go to the mall and be priests.
Yeah.
We should walk around and act like we are Men in Black and literally go up to somebody and act like we're going to do the light thing to them and see if they actually think it's going to
The
happen.
flashy thingy.
Yes. Would you use that on yourself?
Not on myself. Why?
Well, if you just want to forget shit and just start all over.
Yeah.
You complete.
I don't know that
Dude,
I would.
that's actually a deep question.
I don't know if I would trust the person that has to do it to me
Oh,
to fill me. You know what I'm saying?
I'll do it, Ron.
Yeah, because then you got to fill the backstory for me when I'm, you know.
I'll be like, your name is Ron Phillips and you enjoy having sex with giraffes.
I don't want to turn into that person. I'll pass on that.
I'll be like, you're Ron Phillips. You're a badass porno star.
I really don't want to turn into that person
Why?
either.
If you can make a living doing porn, would you?
No.
You are so full of shinola.
Now, is there a price?
Yes.
There's
If somebody
always-
came up and
there's
says,
always
Phillips,
a
I'll
price.
give you $100,000 a week to smash that ass over whatever ass I put over there. You got to smash it whenever the camera's on. Would you do it for $100,000 a week?
Be hard to turn down.
Okay. Professional Ron Phillips doing the Humpty Dance.
It's possible that the story of the Men in Black, the mysterious figures that would become the subject of fascination in UFO conspiracy circles and eventually break into mainstream popular culture, can be traced back to one single day. That is June 27th, 1947. It's quite possible that it all started with a man, a boy, and a dog on a boat. As the story goes, Harold Dahl was on a conservation mission in the Puget Sound near the eastern shore of Washington's Maury Island, gathering logs when he saw a 6 donut-shaped obstacles hovering about a half a mile above his boat.
Donut shape, so hollow in the center,
Maybe.
like a donut.
Yeah, before long, one of them
Jelly
fell
filled.
nearly 1,500 feet, followed by raining metallic debris, some of which hit Dahl's son. Some of which hit Dahl's son Charles on his arm, as well as the family dog, who didn't survive the ordeal.
Okay.
Dahl was able to take some pictures of the aircraft with his camera, which he later showed to his supervisor, Fred Chrisman. A skeptical Chrisman went back to the scene to look for himself and saw a strange aircraft with his own eyes. The following morning, Dahl was visited by a man in a black suit.
Oh, that's a Man in Black.
They end up at a local diner where the man was able to recount in extraordinary detail what Dahl had just experienced. What I have said is proof to you that I know a great deal more about this experience of yours than you will want to believe, the man said, according to author Gary Barker's 1956 book, They Knew Too Much About Flying Saucers.
In 1956?
Yeah, that was a book,
Son
apparently.
of a bitch.
Dahl was told not to speak of the incident. If he did, bad things would happen. The supposed events of Maury Island have continued to fuel conspiracy theories to this day, even though a U.S. government investigation deemed it a hoax after Dahl and Crimson later admitted as much. In particular, the mention of the men in black suit, the man in the black suit, would evolve into a key obsession for UFO enthusiasts and spread into American popular culture thanks to a comic book series and a blockbuster movie trilogy.
Wow.
Yep. In all of their different incarnations, the Men in Black, or the MIB, usually have one main purpose: to muzzle witnesses of strange paranormal phenomena.
Why did they got to muzzle them?
Exactly. Why shut them down?
Yeah, if it's not real.
They almost always wear black suits and hats with dark sunglasses, drive black cars, and arrive in groups of 2 or 3.
Not obvious at all.
No.
I mean, just blends right in.
Some describe them as one would an FBI agent, while others recall the MIB as having strange appearances, sometimes with supernatural features like
Ooh.
glowing eyes and strange
So
complexions.
they're non-human
Potentially.
or mixed breeds.
Potentially, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
There's a picture circulating out there of 2 guys that walked into some place and the cameras caught them.
I saw it.
You
Was it
remember-
like a cafe or what?
I don't know, but they had hats on, but their faces were weird. So how do we get from Harold Dahl to Will Smith, it says? The transformation of the story from a first press report to a folkloric tale to a comic book and now to a film illustrates how the myth is transformed. Around the time the first Men in Black movie was released in 1997, That process is not unlike the children's game of telephone, or what the literary critic Harold Bloom calls innovation by misinterpretation. Sticking with the telephone analogy, the first call was made to Kenneth Arnold, a pilot who had his own alleged UFO sighting on June 24th, 1947, near Mount Rainier, Washington. Though it happened 3 days after the Maury Island incident, it was the first widely reported sighting, and it, quote, touched off the saucer sensation, as was written in 1949 government report on flying saucers. The report states that Dahl and Crimson reached out to a Chicago magazine in an attempt to sell their story, and the magazine editor then contacted Arnold, hoping he could help verify their account. Arnold then summoned 2 officers of Army A2 intelligence to aid in the investigation of Dahl and Crimson's claim, according to the report. Wow.
All right.
In July 1947, 2 Army A2 intelligence officers came to investigate. After leaving in their B-25 the next day.
What's a B-25?
It's an aircraft.
Oh.
It's not the Men in Black car.
I thought it might have been something I didn't know about because I don't know things.
No. After leaving in their B-25 the next day, the plane caught fire and crashed, killing both officers and doing nothing to quiet UFO conspiracists.
Oh, that doesn't look like probably like the safest plane. It actually looks like an older.
Well, we're talking about 1947.
That's a really good point, dude.
Yeah. But the Maury Island story gained little notice in the UFO community until Barker's 1956 book, in which he wrote of his, quote, file on the Maury Island case that largely consisted of the writings by Ray Palmer, the Chicago magazine editor referred to in the government's report. Barker went on to connect the dots between, quote, the man who wore a black suit, who took Dahl to breakfast, and 3 similarly dressed men who allegedly visited a young UFO enthusiast named Albert K. Bender in 1953. It was Bender who, quote, almost single-handedly ushered in the plague of the Men in Black, just as Arnold inaugurated the era of the UFO. Ufologist Nick Redfern wrote in his book.
Oh, I know Nick.
Do you?
Yeah, so does Audrey.
Yeah. Ufologist Nick Redfern wrote in his book, The Real Men in Black, but it was Barker's book that told Bender's story, thus introducing the concept of the MIB to a much wider audience. So it says the telephone analogy is still holding.
What does that mean?
The telephone game where things get misinterpreted when you pass it along.
Have you ever just called somebody back in the day and just hung up on them before caller ID existed?
Oh, all the time.
Did you really?
All the time.
Why?
I don't know. Just because they pissed me off for whatever reason.
What?
I'm sure I did.
Did you ever do it to your mom?
Call them and ask them if they have Prince Albert in a can.
Are you serious?
Call them and ask them if the refrigerator's running.
Hell no, you didn't do that.
I
please.
did.
Have you ever ordered pizza for people?
And had it sent to them? No.
We did that to our people across the
But
street.
see, you can't do that nowadays because
No,
you have
you
to pay
can't.
for it over the
You
phone.
do.
Yeah.
Credit cards.
Yeah. It still has an important legacy, said Robert Schaefer, a UFO researcher. Before its publication, nobody outside a very narrow group of subscribers to Flying Saucer newsletters had ever heard of Bender or his MIB. Barker describes Bender's visitors as, quote, 3 men in black suits with threatening expressions on their faces.
Ooh.
3 men who walk in on you and make certain demands. 3 men who know that you know what the saucers really
Get
are.
on your knees.
Yep. Bender, in his own 1962 book, Flying Saucers and the 3 Men, described the MIB in much more frightening language.
Yeah.
They floated about a foot off the floor. Oh. They looked like clergymen, but wore hats similar to Homburg style.
Dude, I want that outfit.
Yeah.
I really do.
The faces were not clearly discernible, for the hats partly hid and shaded them. The eyes of all 3 figures suddenly lit up like flashlight bulbs. They seemed to burn into my very soul as the pains above my eyes became almost unbearable.
Dude, I got it.
Wrote Bender.
I got it figured out. I know what it is.
What?
I know what the Men in Black are. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear it here first on Abnormal Realities. Men in Black are alien freaking police. That's what they are. They are to control they are like the mainstream media to people, right? So they are here to control the narrative, and they're to look as human as possible. Sometimes they, kind of mess up a little bit. They get whatever. And they are the ones that intercommunication. They are controlling the integration or the prevention of with other species trying to get to this planet. Right here. You're welcome.
There
Good
you
night,
go.
Texas.
You figured it out, dude. That was pretty quick.
Thank you.
Barker would go on to write several more books related to the paranormal and UFOs, including 1970's The Silver Bridge, which helped spread the story of another popular paranormal figure, the creature known as Mothman. But how much of his writing was done in good faith has been called into question by many in the UFO research community.
Audrey said I'm right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Barker,
she's an alien. She knows what's up.
I know.
You all right, bro?
Yeah, I'm just finishing the
You need a hug?
story. Yeah. No, I don't need a hug yet.
Okay.
Barker made it clear to me that he did not take the MIB or Mothman very seriously, says Schaefer, who corresponded with Barker on occasion. However, he believed that there was still, quote, something mysterious about the whole UFO and paranormal thing. Regardless of Barker's motives, countless MIB encounters have been reported since They Knew Too Much was published nearly 60 years ago, and at least one more movie is on the way.
I wonder how close you and I have come to an alien on this planet. Besides Audrey, of course.
Right.
I mean, like, do you think, like, we'll go to Walmart sometimes and we don't realize that we're buying cereal right next to another alien buying cereal?
Okay.
I mean, that's deep.
Okay.
You kind of feel that a little bit? No, you're not
A little
feeling
bit.
that?
A
All
little
right.
bit.
Son of a bitch, Ron.
A little bit.
All right, bro.
I'm now reading 9 freaky encounters with the real Men in Black that'll
Come on.
seriously give you the creeps.
Somebody said that the Men in Black showed up at their place looking for me.
I saw that.
That was FBI, actually.
Yeah.
It was.
Let's see here. The Maury Island incident. Yeah, that was the one we just talked about there, and that was actually documented.
It was documented.
What is this?
What?
That looks like wow.
What is
The
it?
Solway Firth spaceman photo invites a government
Oh,
visit.
dude, I did a show on that like 2 years ago.
Did you really?
Yes. It's a super for real mystery. Here, do I have that link? Because we could do a quick
No,
screen
here,
share.
I'll give it to you. Yeah, because that's
To my understanding, that is they have the actual photo.
and they can tell that
And
that's
because
got
it's an
it
older
looks like a doll somebody's holding
Yep.
up behind her. I mean, what else would that be?
So when I was, what is this crap, man? Really? Why does Facebook have this new thing of logging shit out when you're not active long enough?
I guess. I don't know.
Because I'm going to start screaming racism if they keep doing this.
So while Rocky's getting that ready, Jim Templeton was shocked to discover this figure in the background of a photo of his daughter. The figure was not in the camera's view when he took the photo, and nobody had any idea where it came from. The film was verified as authentic by Kodak, and Templeton's story went public. Not long after, he was visited by 2, quote, government agents who referred to themselves as number 9 and number 10. They demanded to see the site of the photo and questioned Templeton about the event. When Templeton told them he didn't see the figure personally, the men became angry and stormed out of the field, never to be seen again. Templeton was later contacted by 2 employees at a missile launch pad in Australia who claimed that they saw 2 figures that resembled the man in his daughter's photo on launch pad security footage. Apparently, the missiles at that site in Australia had been produced only 20 miles away from the field where Templeton took the photo. Do you have it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to let me do this here. No, that ain't going to work.
I've got it. There
That's
you
going to
go.
be the best way. That's the best
Yeah.
I can do.
So that's the image there. Obviously, on the left is the picture of the girl, but you can see that sticking up above her head. And to me, it almost looks like a balloon.
Well, so when I first ran across this, I found somewhere where there's this big old debate on it, and people were trying to say what it was and what it could have been, the different theories behind it. Because, like I said, they have the actual photo. Back in those days, they didn't have the computer software to do any. So as long as you had the hard copy,
Yeah.
and the what do you call that thing? The film,
Yeah.
and that's in there.
The negatives.
The negatives.
Yeah, of the film. Yeah.
So they were talking about trying to figure out distance and all this other stuff. They were trying to figure out if the validity, of the background, was that some kind of a, how photographers had that
Yeah,
pull down screen. It's open for debate. No matter how you want to look at it, it is without a doubt open for debate. But this has been a picture that has been a conversation piece for a long time.
Well, it's just, the picture looks like it's, what is it, 1970s maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. What did it say? Yeah, put Salworth. I don't know what that means. I don't know where Salworth is, but yeah, I mean, look, in your mind, you're trying to calculate what the hell that is, but I'm saying it's either a balloon or a kite or something. But see, there's the skeptic in me trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm not
here.
seeing balloon or kite. I'm not seeing clouds.
Well, it's definitely not clouds.
I
And
mean,
the guy taking the picture said he didn't see it.
right, correct. Right,
That makes no sense to me.
right.
It's there. It's in
That's
the middle
why
of the
we're
picture.
here. Talk about things that don't make sense.
I guess so.
But how would you
Tell
kinda
them where
see
they
it?
can find us, Rocky.
Dude, you can find us right here in these chairs in this freaking studio. Abnormalrealities.com, because we love the hell out of you guys. Abnormalrealities.com. Get your asses over there. Bunch of shit going down. Odyssey Radio, odysseyradio.com too. RomikaDesigns.com. Insane Custom Tumblers. A whole bunch of .coms, man. We just confused everybody. We love you. Phillips, take us away.
Hey, more Men in Black after the messages. We'll be back.
At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logoed designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design and would be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Abnormal realities.
So there was a guy right in front of our house.
Did you
right
see
across
any
the
of this
street.
happen, by the
No,
way?
I was driving home from work.
You didn't even make it home.
No, I didn't get
Okay.
home till
All right.
6:05.
Okay.
Ate lasagna and said, bro, I'm on my way.
Yep, I got you. All right.
Right across the street, they got a guy who was a crack dealer.
Okay, so
All
the
right.
cops were busting they busted a crack dealer across the street.
Yeah, so he gets to, now he's in our neighbor's yard. And Lisa's outside.
What was that noise?
That was my throat because I was trying not to burp.
God dang,
Dude,
dude.
don't judge me, okay?
It sounded like a mouth fart.
Yeah, I couldn't pull back quick enough.
Okay. God, and it smells. What was that? Did you burp? That was like lasagna.
Garlic. Oh!
Abnormal reality.
That was,
It
like,
was!
that was like lasagna or something.
Yeah. Mama had a plate of lasagna
God,
for Dad when
nasty.
I got home. Thank you, baby.
With Ron and Rocky. 8 p.m. Eastern. Mojo 50.
Jeez. All right, go ahead.
Oh, I messed up.
You messed up. What'd you mess up?
I started with the left hand for the first time ever because I panicked.
Abnormal realities, folks.
Yo.
Welcome back. My name is Ron Phillips. That's Rocky Stucci.
How you doing?
We're talking about the mythology of the Men in Black tonight, and I think you should go.
Do you just bring us in so professionally, bro? That was
I'm sorry.
smooth.
Should I be less professional?
No, that was good. It just
I have to offset
I'm
you.
not. You did. You threw me off, man. He does it every once in a while too. When we're going out at the end of the show, I'm used to him throwing everything out, and then like the last seconds, he'd be like, "Rocky, take us home." I'm like, "Oh, dude, good night,
You used to do that to me. I got it from you.
Ron Phillips, take us home."
Yep.
So what were we talking about?
Men in Black.
So
Yeah.
so Audrey did say, well, two things. She did confirm that there is a high level of paranoia within the UFO communities. Everybody's an agent, right? We see that in a lot of communities, actually. And then she also kind of, I think, if I was
Well,
reading,
wouldn't it make sense, though, for the agents to infiltrate the UFO community? It would make sense for
of
them
course,
to do that, right?
That's in any community they're investigating. There is infiltration.
Yes.
No matter what, it's
Yep.
what they do.
Yep.
So yes, absolutely. So Audrey, tell them to stay paranoid. Let us know what happens. And then I got to tell you, man, it's kind of a logical thought. Okay, let's just go to this platform right now. let's just say aliens are 100% real.
Okay.
Let's just say there has been some kind of things going on since ancient times, right? Something happened throughout time. Aliens disappeared. Humanity kind of became this. It's just scary. And then they have a force, an undercover force that control the interaction between the two species. Our species is to try to at least evolve on our own without any type of technological
but
help.
Are we evolved enough?
We haven't evolved shit.
Are we evolved enough as a race of humans to even qualify to be communicated with by aliens?
No, we can't communicate with ourselves. Literally.
That's a good point.
We have not earned, if that is the standard, we have not earned that respect from forces much more advanced than us. We are primates to them.
So are you telling me then that
we failed the test? Yes.
That although we may see alien visitors from time to time, that the full disclosure and the full interaction there with extraterrestrials won't happen until we evolve to be better humans and treat our world better.
Yes.
That's what Scott Walter told us.
Exactly. I think, in anything, there has to be a certain, like, communities of the people we associate with, right?
Okay.
We expect our circle to have a certain level of integrity, respect. Of course, we're goofballs and we're humorous, and that's one thing, but I'm talking about real life, real business, real humanism. We expect that standard from our community, from our friends. Whatever anybody else does, whatever. And we have to hold people to that standard. We're not perfect, but we try. So why wouldn't that be any different to look at an entire population and say they are not ready? They have not earned the respect, because part of the gift of them having the abilities to evolve is to become better with the technology and not use the same technology as a weapon.
Which is what we automatically do as human
Everything.
beings.
Dude, since we say it all the time.
We're like, how can we use this to, quote, protect ourselves from everybody else who has it, rather than how can we use it for good?
I think the only thing in regards to the human species, in regards to evolving, is that we just learned over time, and it took a long time for us to figure out how to make tools, and then how to build things, and then how to create things with different minerals, right? And then build like cars. And so evolution from a technological aspect, yes, we have evolved. But as a species, I don't think we evolved at all, because what are we today any different than, let's say, ancient Roman times?
Right.
Or ancient Sparta, or 5000 BC, or ancient Egypt.
And some would say that we're not as advanced now as the cultures were back then. Which is an odd statement, if you ask me. Technology-wise, we're probably more advanced.
Well, okay, I understand what they're saying, though, because they did things back then that we can't figure out how they did it today.
Correct.
And if we tried, imagine trying to find a group of people, and you couldn't just take applications like say, hey, I want to build a pyramid, bitches, without any technology. So now you'd have to get a group of engineers from some prestige university and tell them to figure out a way to build this thing with this size of material right here without the equipment.
Could we build something today? Could we build something today with our engineers that would last millennia?
You know the one that would come up with the idea? It would be some backwoods redneck that is a freaking genius, because he has life skills of how to build things with his hands and how to work. And,
probably.
And then he'll actually get the people to do it. And you are talking people of proportions, man. You are talking probably thousands of people.
If not more, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would say for that time and some of the things that they have done, comparatively, intelligently speaking, they were advanced in that aspect. We're advanced now because we built things to be smart for us. It's a different type of advancement. Now we depend on things to be intelligent for us, so we can actually become dumber.
How long, Rocky, question, how long and then we'll get back to the story. How long before we humans, I guess you could say, build an artificial intelligent or build AI to where it begins to learn on its own or begins to repair itself?
Haven't we already?
I don't know.
Well, we built a computer. It was just a computer to where it taught itself how to play chess,
I remember that.
right? And then it started getting smarter than that and started creating its own programs within the computer. So there is a way somehow through that technology, through that matrix, like the movie The Matrix, they're in a technological metaverse or whatever you want to call it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Is that a real world? Because it has to be, because all this information, everything you guys are seeing, all the lights and technology around the world, all that information is somewhere transmitting nonstop. It's just like our planet is glowing. If we could put a color to the transmissions of all the signals throughout the world, we're glowing, right? That is another world in some form or fashion. If you think about it, it exists somewhere. You know what I mean? Like satellites. That information is just there.
I was watching somebody on YouTube yesterday explain the dimensions outside of the three that we know of that we can see. Because there are a total of 11 dimensions. We can only see the first three.
How do they know that?
I don't know how they know that.
Okay.
They kind of walk through it, but I didn't listen.
Tell me more. The three.
The three dimensions?
Yes.
Length, width, and height.
Okay.
Because if you're a two-dimensional character,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Then you can only see
I
length
get
and
it.
width.
I get it.
You can't see
Shit.
You can't see spheres.
Son of a bitch.
What happened?
Length.
Oh my God. Length, width, and height
I
is
don't-
what
I don't
the
like
three
the
dimensions
I
are.
don't like the 2D.
But there is a fourth dimension, and this guy.
What is the fourth?
I don't know. He never said what it was specific. Now there is a video I've watched where a single guy explains all 11 dimensions as we have theorized them.
Okay, so
Right.
they're literally trying to look at it from a scientific perspective.
Yes.
Okay.
And the thing about the dimensions is it's like if someone was living inside the fourth dimension that we can't see as human beings. Well, I take that back, because he said that if someone was to push, let's say, a ball through the fourth dimension, we would see it, but we wouldn't know what we were seeing.
Oh.
It's just like someone pushing a ball through through a two dimension. And the way you would see it, if you were a two-dimensional character,
Dude.
and someone pushed a circular ball, which has height, right, through the two dimensions, all they would see it as is a black line, right? It would be a small black line that gets wider, and then it comes back together.
Can I tell you something?
Crazy, right? I love things like that.
I'm
What?
kind of tripping out right now.
Why?
Well, first, Hiram, I think that's how you say it. Hirum.
Hiram.
Hiram. Have you seen the movie The Alien Encounters in 1979? I probably saw that movie. I probably saw it.
If I did, I don't remember.
It's just not ringing a bell.
Yeah.
I would have to pull it up. But, okay, so you were just talking about that. So since I was a kid, I am telling the honest God truth here now. Since I was a kid, I've always had this. It's a nightmare to me. Okay. It's really weird because I'm somewhere that doesn't exist. I can't explain it. There's nothing
in
there.
the dream you're talking
Yes.
about. Yeah.
There's nothing there. Right. There's nothing. I don't even know what my feet are on. Okay. And there's somebody or something a super far distance away from me. Right. So I can't see them. And we have this ball. And when the ball is in my hand, it's super huge, like huge. And then I wind back like this and I throw it to that, whatever it is. And when I throw it, the ball shrinks. The second it leaves my hand, it shrinks down to a little tiny thing and then goes really fast to who's ever on the other side. And then they throw it back to me. And so I go to catch the small object, and then it grows in my hand and it gets really big. Really, honest to God, this sounds super weird because that's the description of my dream. And I guess I can't explain the emotion in it because it's hard for me to tell what my emotion is. But in the dream, I'm freaked out and I'm panicked and I don't know why. So when we talk about the ball, I mean, do you think there could be some for real connection? Am I possibly in a different dimension in that dream?
It's entirely
state?
possible. I mean, dude, some of the things that I think about when we go into the different dimensions are there people living amongst us, entities living amongst us, don't know if they're people, human beings, whatever, that are in a different dimension that we at our evolutionary level can't see.
Yep.
Because of the dimensional thing. Not because they're extraterrestrials from another planet, but because they may be, is it called interdimensional? I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think it's part of design, a part of how our chemistry is made up to purposely not be able to see all those different, like this is say the light spectrum.
Yeah.
So we need certain special lights.
Correct.
When we go to night vision or whatever it may be. Do you think it's by design? Because could you imagine if our eyes were to see every light spectrum? Would we even be able to see?
Well, here's the thing that's cool about that, though, is at one point in time, and I don't know if I learned this in school or what, but I discovered through education or research that we have blind spots in our eyes. That literally, if there are tasks that you can do where you can stare at dots, and when you get closer, one dot just completely disappears. What? If you're looking at this one, you can't see this one over here.
Son of a bitch.
You can see it out here, but you can't see it here. And it's a blind spot that our minds recreate when we're looking around. So we'd never see the blind spot because our mind is recreating what it should see there, right?
Shit, dude, that's deep.
But what if that was our fourth dimension spot? You see what I'm saying?
So we could be.
So maybe there are people who can see, and that's what people are glimpsing.
Okay, so now that brings up the conversation
That's
of
freaking nuts
people
right
that
there.
are psychic.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's just say something at a spiritual level. Ghost is in one of those dimensions.
Okay.
Let's say the fourth.
Okay.
Let's just use it as a number. Whatever the fourth stood for 2 minutes ago, it doesn't now. Let's just say we're in the third and spirit and ghost are in the fourth. And when you talk about these people that sometimes have these experiences where something may be crossing from the fourth dimension, you're talking about the eyes and are we somehow able to sometimes kind of dial in? Maybe those with the psychic ability, because there are people that have it. People cannot convince me differently. And I've said it a million times, probably 80% of those in the field are probably people you don't want to get a reading from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's the population of people that I have in my life been completely shocked. I'll tell you a quick story in a second. But when you have an ability to where your brain is just, the mechanisms are just connected a little bit differently inside that melon of yours, which maybe allows you to not so much see with your eyes, but just see differently, see with your mind. People say like alien species, they've seen alien species communicate with one another without saying a word. Right? So it's telepathic.
Okay.
So maybe somehow telepathically, they're able to connect very short term with energies in one dimension up or maybe 2 dimensions up, right?
Correct.
Just close enough for them to be able to communicate.
So if you just search on YouTube 11 Dimensions Explained, you'll find several videos. Michio Kaku, who is I think he's an astrophysicist, but you've seen him before on TV.
I just don't, that last name, Rocky Kaku.
Yeah. He does a good description. But look, I mean, for the most part, a lot of this is, I want to say it's theoretical. I don't think they know everything about it, but they try to explain to someone who can only see in 3 dimensions what you would see in the 4th through the 11th dimension.
Oh.
And I don't know how, I mean, there's some aspect of my mind that just doesn't grasp what it is they're showing.
Is
us.
a lot of this theorizing, or is this can be supported with the science we created?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Good night, Texas.
No, I mean, but obviously they figured out that there are 11 dimensions. Why and how? I don't know.
Or they figured out that there are 11 dimensions that our science can calculate. You know what I mean? I mean, we start out with the 2D.
Yeah.
You know, that's then and now. That's length and width. There's dimension number 2. What's dimension 1?
This guy, one of the commenters on this video says, we are learning about the 11th dimensions in a 3D world watching on a 2D screen using one-dimensional data. Nice. I mean, that's the thing is that you don't, it's hard to explain it because you can't really show it.
You can't.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I don't think that our brains are ready for this next step. And because due technology, it's relatively speaking, I mean, how long have the human being been on the planet, right? Like how far back does a human
65,000 years.
It all depends on who you talk to, right? Because you can Google something right now and you say, you know, evidence of human being in this cave 1.1 million years ago. So just think about the vast amount of time, which is actually short, relatively speaking, that humans have been on this planet. Technologically, really, maybe 1600s, 1700s, you know, ships were a big thing. And then, you know, they came up with like cannons and guns and weapons. Then they learned how to blow shit up. But it just probably, you think about the last couple hundred years is when some of the big stuff is really happening, you know, power plants and lights and technology and Wi-Fi and 5G and a whole bunch more diseases and a whole bunch more vaccines and medications and depression and anxiety and abuse, you know, the lack of hugs, the lack of love, the lack of running in the woods naked under the moonlight, loving everybody. We're losing it. We're not ready.
11th dimension. The 11th dimension is a characteristic of space-time that has been proposed as a possible answer to questions that arise in superstring theory, which involves the extension or the existence of 9 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. Humans can understand only 3 spatial dimensions and 1 time dimension, and the remaining 6 spatial dimensions are compactified. Some physicists have suggested that there exist 11 dimensions which are compactified like the 6 dimensions. Michio Kaku, an American theoretical physicist, has said he believes the multiverse of universe is 11. The multiverse of universe is 11 dimensional.
Do we got to point that out that he's a theoretical physicist?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? He's
he's
theorizing now, right?
Well, maybe, yeah, but he's an educated theorizer.
Oh, I like him.
In string theory, the multiverse is made of different dimensions, but the highest is 11th dimension. Beyond 11 dimensions, the universe would become unstable, and dimensions higher than 11 would collapse to an 11-dimensional universe.
Would you go to a nude beach?
What the hell? I'm sorry, what?
Would you go to a nude beach?
Why are you asking me that in the middle of our story?
Because it's weird. I just visualized it. I don't know why. You wouldn't?
No.
For $100?
No.
$100 and a drink.
No.
And a hug? Naked?
No. Right. Radio personality Danny Gordon was harassed by, quote, journalists for talking about UFOs. He was a radio personality who became interested in a flurry of Wythe County UFO sightings. Multiple people across the county claimed to have seen bizarre objects in the sky, and Gordon decided to investigate. Gordon became obsessed with getting photos of the objects, including one time where an entire school bus of students saw the UFOs flying over a shopping mall as Gordon took photos. Eventually, Gordon snapped a few photos at extremely close range that allegedly verified they were not of this world. However, strange things began happening to Gordon. He received a phone call from a man who claimed to be, quote, ex-military and warned him that his research could, quote, cost him everything and urged him to stop for his family's sake. Gordon was also interviewed by 2 men in black suits who claimed to work for a magazine publication.
Oh, okay.
Not long after the interview, Gordon realized all his photos were missing. He contacted the magazine for information, and they claimed to have never heard of him, much less commissioned an article about him. Not long after, Gordon suffered a heart attack, and his doctor warned him that all the research and stress was jeopardizing his health. Gordon gave up the story and was never bothered again.
Well, they better leave Gordon's ass alone because he knows people now, because he knows dimensional stuff. And there's probably different levels in each dimension of a Men in Black.
Oh, here's a cool story.
Come
we
on.
got just enough
Dude,
time.
we perfect.
Dan Aykroyd. Actor Dan Aykroyd's show was shut down by Men in Black.
No, it was not.
Dan Aykroyd has come forward with his story about how he was taping a show about the paranormal.
I remember.
He stepped out to take a phone call from Britney Spears, who was asking him to appear on Saturday Night Live with her, when he noticed a black Ford parked across the street.
Oh, there it is.
A tall man stepped out of the Ford and stared him down. Aykroyd turned away for a moment and then turned back to find that the man in the car had completely vanished. After he finished his phone call, he returned to the studio to learn that his show had been canceled and he was ordered to stop filming immediately. Some doubt his claim, but Aykroyd says he knew what he saw and maintains that there was some kind of connection between these MIB and the end of his paranormal show. Well, that's pretty interesting. He was taking a phone call from Britney Spears.
Yeah, hey, Brittany, hey, congratulations on that whole dad thing. You finally got rid of the freaking cockroach, huh? How much money did he take with him? How much? How much did you have to buy him out for? Tell me more.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a paranormal show. You interested?
Click. The fact of the matter is that no paranormal show that I know of that's on the air today or podcast form has been taken down because
What?
somebody in the government has.
Audrey said she sent me Dan's contact. Audrey sent it to me.
Dan who?
Aykroyd.
Oh, Dan Aykroyd. Really?
Audrey sent it to Ryan because he remembers stuff.
He is an interesting cat, Death the Show. I met him once. It was funny. I was in the Mondrian Hotel on Sunset Strip right next to House of Blues.
Is that in Seattle?
And we were sitting in the lobby and he walks in and he's got his little entourage with him. He walks through and gets in the elevator. We all said hi to him. And he
Hey,
just
Tom!
he just waved at us. Tom?
What's his name? Dan.
Dan.
Yo, Danny!
Yeah, he's a much shorter guy than he
Do you
appears
think you could whoop him?
on the movies.
Think you take him?
No, I wouldn't want to. Dan Aykroyd's cool.
No, he may be cool, but you guys may have a couple drinks sometime at the bar and things may get out of hand. Can you
That's
whoop him?
Never going to happen. No, but Denzel Washington ran into me that same night.
Well, he better
I was standing in the entryway to the freaking House of Blues. He jumps out of his limo,
a couple years ago.
runs up behind me, bumps me, and kind of grabs my shoulders and bumps me.
He touched you?
Yeah.
Where?
He just like this. Turn around. He grabs my shoulders and he leans around me to talk to a guy sitting on a stool to ask him. I'm not doing it again.
Don't do that.
No. Okay. He leans around me. He's holding my shoulders. He leans around me and says, "Hey, where's the ATM at?"
Denzel?
Yeah.
To give him a hug?
No, I went like this to turn around and I noticed it was, soon as I saw him, I knew it was him. But by that time he was already walking off. Crazy things happen.
I'd be like, D, hey, dude, you remember me, Stucci, the meatball?
Denzel Washington, dude.
Dude,
he's such a brilliant actor.
I know. The chances are you can go up to somebody and he could be like, remember, people will have to sit there and pretend that they remember you because people forget shit. Folks,
Yeah.
Ron Phillips is going to take us home. Come on, baby.
Hey guys, abnormalrealities.com, odysseyradio.com, insanecustomtumblers.com, and romikadesigns.com. You can find us all of our stuff that we sell there. You can find more information about the shows. Put 2 shows up today. Go out to odysseyradio.com, look at the show page, and you'll see those out there. We thank you for joining us tonight. We probably won't be here tomorrow night, but watch for a message. We've got something planned. So we'll see you guys. Take care.